Fakakta Comedy Funhouse Network. Welcome to Couch Pilots. All of you are my friends. This is the show that dares to fly into the unknown territory of awful television pilots of the past. My name is Jason. You can also call me the Black Mahogany. I'll be one of your captains for this evening. Across from me sits the other captain. His name is Philip Restisher. How are you, sir?
I am doing wonderful. We were talking before the flight in the captain's lounge about how I'm getting a third chin, or 12th chin. I'm getting fat.
You've had a long-standing second chin, and now you're developing a third.
So I'm kind of concerned about that. Hey, folks, how are you doing? All our listeners out there?
Are you injecting some excitement to the program?
Yeah, I'm getting excited. No, I'm always excited. When Monday's at work, everybody's moping around at work. And they're like, Mondays. I don't even have lasagna. And I'm like, Mondays afternoons or the Monday evenings are the best.
The
best. So, I'm excited. We're going to talk, about what's been going on in the captain's lounge.
Yeah.
Then we're going to dive into this pilot that's...
Whoops. You're done talking about your chins already?
Well, no, I was just letting everybody know what we're going to be doing.
Okay, because you went right on from that immediately, and I was like, I thought there's so much to talk about chin related, but if you're done, we don't have to discuss it. Right?
I'm just excited. Maybe I'm overshooting.
It's a bizarre opening.
I'm not like that girl from the Olympics. The air pistol girl who got the first gold medal for the U.S.
Did she flip out with excitement afterwards? I didn't see it.
I don't know. She's fucking 18 years old.
It's such a weird thing too, isn't it? It's the Olympics is a bizarre. It's bizarre. You have all these.
It's
people.
not a treasure trove.
A treasure trove of what?
Nothing.
I don't know what's happening. I got some new tires on my vehicle today, and I was in the waiting room at Walmart, and my daughter was there like, buy me $1.50 bottle of water. I was like, just shut up, eat your popcorn chicken, and we're going to watch the Olympics on TV. And I see everyone, and they're all wearing uniforms. And I just wonder, because you have to represent your country. Everyone's wearing the red, white, and blue. It doesn't make sense for the bikini volleyball team to wear the same thing as the people out on the rowing team. It doesn't make sense. But I wonder, who is the person that designs these? Who's taking all the measurements? What a bizarre... Because these people would normally never see each other.
Sure.
They're all the greatest athletes that the country has to offer, but they never really... They probably don't run in the same circles. You know what I mean?
No, in like the opening ceremonies, the whole United States has the same outfit. And I know 4 years ago, it was like Tommy Hilfiger or something did it.
Love
and Tommy Hilfiger. Ugly. They were ugly.
I wonder who gets that, if they bid for that. But I love the idea that it's almost like going to war. Everyone's wearing this uniform for their country.
Well, we are. We're going to a sports war.
Sports war? Now, that was the original name of the Olympics, right?
Exactly. Sports war. They had Greco-Roman wrestling.
Greco-Roman wrestling is one of the best. One of the original sports war events, too, wasn't it?
And they had lion fighting.
Yeah. And a lot of that
chariot races.
Yeah, chariot races were big, and they have the whips.
Yeah, the chariot races were 500 laps.
Like the Daytona 500.
Mm-hmm. It was called the Greek 500.
The Roman Greco 500? These the
You're laughing at me. That's not because I said something funny. You're laughing at me because I was stupid and pronounced it wrong.
Sometimes I think you pronounce it... I like to think that you pronounced it wrong on purpose so I could laugh with you.
Sure.
But in your head, if you pronounced it wrong by accident, then yes, I am laughing at you. But I mean malice.
This is very topical for a month and a half from now. Hey, U.S., good on you.
A-OK, USA. What about...
Way to go, Russia.
Wrestling naked, though. That's what Greco-Roman wrestling was,
sure.
right? They would oil each other up.
Yeah.
And they'd really just have at each other.
That's where homosexuality came from.
The Romans were the first homosexuals.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So we're all gay people are descendants.
Well, yeah, and then they had public baths where they would all just go and fuck each other.
Oh, big hygienics orgies.
Mm-hmm.
You get out the loofahs and then slip in your loofah.
Yep.
I didn't know about you're so much culture.
I know a lot about the Greeks.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Can you give me any more insight into the Greek? Just one more thing.
Well, I really shouldn't.
Okay, we can move on then. Did you happen to see that DSJ was wearing? Because he had won some medals recently too.
Yeah, he won some medals, and he was super excited about them. He had one for he did a floor routine for with his orange cones. It was a gymnast thing. But he did a floor routine, because the girl ones had the little flag things.
Oh, sure, yeah, it's beautiful.
The little banner things, they're so beautiful. But he did it with the cones.
Now, we should maybe get something out of the way because we don't necessarily talk about DSJ every episode.
Sure.
DSJ is our tarmac worker.
Sure.
And he has golden cones that he uses to direct the plane out there.
Right. Because safety.
Yeah, absolutely for safety. And it just so happens that he has Down syndrome.
Right. And we have gotten a lot of flack over the seasons about DSJ and talking about him and stuff, and I think we do nothing but support and talk nice about him.
We never focus on that.
We just all the cool. We always focus on the cool stuff he does.
He's always involved with something awesome. He makes a ton of money. He's out there partying all the time.
Six figures,
getting awards for this and that. But he came in the other day, and you're right. He was just beaming ear to ear because he thinks it's the regular Olympics, but it was the Special Olympics that he was involved with. Right. And he was in, what did you say, the floor routine?
The floor routine with the cones.
Right.
And then
beautiful.
He was talking to you, really bragging about his arms being
powerlifting.
Big. Powerlifting. That's what it was. You know what? I wondered why, like the last month or so, like instead of like hooking our plane to something and driving a tow truck and putting it away, he would push up on the front of the nose and he would just kind of like drag it. So he must have been training for that.
I told him to stop doing that, but he wouldn't.
No.
And I mean, honestly, at this point, it's been fine.
Sure.
He broke a regional record.
Right.
He lifts 775 pounds right over his head.
Amazing. Could you do that? No.
No, I mean, I can barely lift. I get myself out of bed.
When I change a light bulb, if I take too long, I start to get dizzy and my arm starts to hurt.
And you'd have a seat, right?
Huh?
You'd have a seat. You'd
Right.
have someone fan you.
Just like the Greco-Roman wrestlers.
See, now you're doing it on purpose.
Eat grapes.
Eat grapes. Just have a young testicular-less boy feed you grapes.
Oh, that would be awesome. Not a hair on his body.
Anyway, a big shout out to the United States team, the Olympics. Big shout out to DSJ and his gold medals. I think he walked away with 5 or 6 of them.
Jiminy Christmas.
That floor routine. Unbelievable. And remember, what was the song that he had danced to? It was
a Led Zeppelin song. Stairway to Heaven.
Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah, he did the whole song.
The abridged version.
No, he did the whole version.
Oh, he did the whole version.
Yeah, I mean that showed his stamina.
Minutes?
Yeah, that showed his stamina. They just gave him the gold medal to get him off the goddamn mat. They're like, yes, you're buying a stair. Okay,
they're passing those things out like,
here's the stairway. We understand where it's at.
Anyway, big shout out to him. Congratulations. We're super proud.
Sure.
I feel like beaming parents is what I feel like.
Yeah, we took him under our wing when we started this podcast.
His mom is like in her 70s, so I feel like we're his parents.
Sure, we're like the hip parents.
Yeah, we took him under our wings,
and we gave him the job, and we support everything he does.
Absolutely, we do. So I think that's enough banter. I don't really feel like I need to talk to you much more after that. Do you?
That's fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captains have turned on the fasten seatbelt sign.
It's the announcement from our stewardess saying it's time to board the plane. That's us moving forward with the podcast into the next section where we're talking about what the show is. We're getting everyone warmed up.
Sure.
A little light banter up front. We have a lot of fun.
You got to loosen up. A lot of people have never taken a flight with us before.
People are tense.
They're nervous. They're tense. There's probably kids out there who are thinking they're going to die on an airplane for the first time.
A lot of kids are out there listening to our show thinking they're going to die. But that's why they need us for the first 10 minutes to banter a little bit.
Right, just to bring everybody to say, hey, we're just like you.
Hey, kids, you're probably not going to die.
No.
Maybe. You might.
Yeah.
Not through us, though. I'm not going to be the cause of it.
No. I had somebody the other day ask me, why don't you guys do commercial flights? Why don't you work for Delta or why don't you work for Virgin Airlines? And I'm like, you don't get it.
You don't get it, man.
They're like, I've listened to the show. Why don't you work for, Fly the Friendly Skies? And I'm like, we fly.
I tell you what, I make pretty good money, what I'm doing here. Enough to where I have to replace my front door once a month because Delta, American Airlines, they're beating down my door.
Right.
They're saying, hey, come fly the friendly skies. I say, you know what? I want to fly the failed pilot skies. Thank you very much. Okay?
Yeah, you don't have to be some person. But hell, Delta just not too long ago, their whole computer system shut down. Every flight across the world was shut down.
You know what? We have a computer here at Couch Pilots, and it's called the Pachinko machine.
Right.
And every bit of information about the show, all of our listeners, our frequent flyers, everything that they give to us in forms of presents or feedback or downloads, everything associated with the show runs through the Pachinko machine.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how many times that's broken down? Exactly zero.
Zero.
Exactly zero.
I had to change the caliber.
Yeah, I mean, of course. Oh, well,
That's just maintenance.
every
That's
10,000 miles, you're
right.
changing calibers.
Yeah, exactly.
That's standard
Yeah.
issue. But you're not losing any information.
Nope.
We don't have any hackers breaking in, exposing people's personal info.
No, we've got a lot of personal info.
I
on
have
people's.
got probably more than I need. And if I really wanted to abuse it, I could.
Oh yeah, we're not about that.
We're not about that. So you're probably wondering, what the hell is this show even about? And you'd be right to think it.
But hey, thank you for hanging out for 10 minutes.
That's right.
To get that question answered.
Couch Pilots is a podcast about failed TV shows. Failed in the sense that maybe someone on a network who was in charge didn't like it. Maybe you just had to meet a contractual obligation. It's about TV shows that had only one episode and one episode only. If it had two, I don't want to see it.
No.
If it's a TV show that had 0 episodes, there's no way for me to see it. It's got to have one. One and done.
One and done.
And we watch these things and we talk about them.
We write stuff down.
We take the time to get writer's cramp. How many people can say that?
7
Yeah, tops.
at the max.
So we do this for you because we love it and we love you.
Oh, we've expressed that many times. We love all of our listeners.
If we didn't love our
We
listeners,
could put all our listeners in this one room, and I would go up and shake each one of their hands and put my other hand on their sholler and look them right in the eye.
that's how
and
you know
say,
someone's listening and someone cares.
Right. I say, I love you.
Right.
And then I'll go to the next person and say, I love you.
And they would know that you'd be telling the truth.
Truth. That's what we're about.
We're about truth and we're about failed pilots. And we do keep track of everyone that listens to the show and who sends us feedback. And again, we use the Pachinko machine to calculate all these things. And if we didn't love you, we wouldn't send out surprise prizes. We
Right.
wouldn't send out signed aviator glasses. We wouldn't let some of our frequent flyers sit with us in the airplane
Exactly.
to do a show with us.
Yeah.
So we love you because we don't have to do that.
We
stuff.
love feedback. We love interacting. We want to promote that. We want that to happen a lot. The more people that interact with us, the better our shows are going to be. The better our flights are going to be. The better this podcast is going to be.
It's a culture.
It's
of
not.
love.
It's not our podcast.
No.
It's everyone's podcast.
Right now, while we're recording, it is ours.
Oh, yeah.
But then we release it
Oh,
into
yeah.
the world, and it belongs to the world. Then,
Just like a wild cheetah baby.
just like a wild cheetah baby. The cliched saying, "Wild cheetah baby." Today, we discussed the pilot episode of The IT Crowd from the year of our Lord 2007. Now, when I think about 2007, I think about a student on Virginia Tech campus goes on a killing spree on April 16th, leaving over 30 students dead.
Wow. I remember, but I don't remember why. Was he Asian kid?
He was an Asian kid.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I think that's the only thing I remember about him.
It's got to be the only thing I remember about it. And it was some girl had rejected him or something.
I'm sure that's what it was. Right now,
Asian girls are going to reject Asian boys. They don't want Asian boys.
So
They want black men.
Asian girls want black men.
Right.
And then who wants Asian men?
Asian men. Other Asian men.
So
A lot of times they get white women too.
Okay,
Because they're wealthy.
I was gonna say, in maybe like one generation, the Asian culture could be obliterated if every Asian man was a homosexual, like you're surmising.
Well, they're not all homosexuals.
Okay.
They like Pokemon though.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair
So-
assessment.
I led you off and
No, that's okay.
I didn't bring you back.
That's fine. Look, someone's sleeping with an Asian guy.
Somebody is.
That's not a dude.
But not that guy. Nobody was sleeping with that guy, so he shot everybody up. I noticed that when you give us facts to just kind of like about the time period, just kind of so listeners can close their eyes and go back to that time, there are usually a lot of horrible things.
This is the part of the show where we talk about the year in which the pilot was released, so we can get in that mind frame. We can get in that headset of, hey, I remember that time. I'm transporting my brain back to that time. And you're right. the site that I go to, it had a bunch of negative stuff. So much so that was the only one I put on the list this time because it would have just been a huge downer.
Right.
Here's the next one. New Seven Wonders Foundation announced the new 7 wonders of the modern world. You ever hear the 7 wonders of the world?
Sure.
And do you remember what the 8th wonder of the world was?
Andre the Giant?
Yeah. And the 9th? Do you know the 9th?
No.
That was China. You remember
Oh.
WWE's China R.I.P.?
Yeah.
She's dead.
Oh, yeah.
Drugs.
Drugs and alcohol.
That's how you do it, baby. That's how you get dead. So the old ones were the Great Pyramid of Giza, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, Statue of Zeus at Olympia, Temple of Artemis at Ephesus, Mausoleum at Halicarnassus, Colossus of Rhodes, and Lighthouse of Alexandria.
So nothing from the United States.
This seems like within a 200-mile radius,
Right.
all these 7 wonders of the world exist. That doesn't seem very fair.
I'd like to know who made that list because I'm thinking they were from that area.
Do you think it was Andre the Giant?
Could be.
He's probably big enough to reach out to all those places.
Did you see like we would hold a beer can? It looked like a little mini.
Yeah, they would say that he would drink a whole barrel of beer at a time.
You have to.
He was a mountain of a man, wasn't he? Good Lord.
I wonder how big his penis was.
I bet it was
Do you think it was any bigger?
the size of like a summer sausage,
Oh,
probably.
man.
Like a full summer
I
sausage.
could not take that.
Do you know anyone that could?
China? China could.
Can you imagine the baby that, what was her name? Joni Lawler? That her and Andre the Giant could make?
My goodness.
Man, that kid would be, he would be basically what Hitler was trying to do during World War II. A super soldier.
Sure. Captain America.
Yeah, he would have been Captain America. Here are the new ones. Christ the Redeemer. We've seen that, right, in Rio de Janeiro.
Mm-hmm. We're seeing that when we saw the Olympics.
That's right. Great Wall of China.
It's a big wall.
Machu Picchu in Peru.
Catch 'em all?
Got to catch them all. Pyramid at Chichen Itza in the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico.
Okay.
The Roman Colosseum.
Definitely. Leaning Tower Pizza.
Love that. And the Taj Mahal in India.
Still, nothing in the United States.
No, not the closest one would be the in the Yucatan Peninsula.
What's one of the wonders of the United States? Well, if you had to pick one.
The Niagara Falls.
Yes.
The Grand Canyon.
Oh, the Grand Canyon for sure.
Then you've got, Katz's Deli, downtown New York City.
Mm-hmm. The star satellite thing in Seattle.
Yeah.
What's that called?
Space Needle.
Space Needle. Definitely.
Disneyland, Disney World.
Sure.
What else you got? Oh, that glass cube that sits at the top of the building, the Willis Tower in Chicago.
Oh.
You stand out in the glass cube. That's one. To me, those are the 7 wonders of
The
United
Alamo?
States. Yeah, I remember that. Coke,
Cocaine.
Coca-Cola. That's a wonder of the world.
Oh. Couch Pilots. We're getting there.
We'll make it.
Maybe the next time they do their list. 2007,
2007, people started throwing their hats in the ring for the presidential candidacy. Do you remember that?
No.
Republicans, these are the nominees in the beginning of 2007. Mitt Romney, Rudy Giuliani, John McCain, Mike Huckabee, Tommy Thompson. There's not going to be a president named Tommy Thompson. Get the fuck out of here. Duncan Hunter. That sounds like a cool guy.
That is cool. I like that name.
Sam Brownback. Tom Tancredo, Jim Gilmore, and the actor who is since deceased, Fred Thompson.
It's amazing they start out, just one party starts out with that many people.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, hey, let's just narrow it down to 5 right off the bat. Let's cut the slack.
We lived in a time, I mean, right now we're talking about Trump versus Hillary, but just a few months ago, 5-6 months ago, we were looking at a similar pool number-wise.
Yeah.
If someone said to me, who would you put your money on back then, I would have said Rudy Giuliani. I think Rudy Giuliani, riding high off of the successes he has as mayor of New York City and all the work he did with 9/11, this is America's mayor.
Yeah.
Why not be America's president?
Exactly.
Democrats: Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, John Edwards, Ron Paul, Mike Gravel, Chris Dodd, Bill Richardson, Joe Biden, Dennis Kucinich. I had only ever heard of John Edwards because he ran as a VP with John Kerry.
Right.
And Hillary Clinton. So I would have guessed probably Clinton and Giuliani, but it wasn't that at all.
And John Kerry was hot off the movie Mask, and 23 was that the movie 23 with all the numbers and everything came back to 23.
Oh, John. Okay, no, that's Jim Carrey.
Oh,
Maybe or is that Mariah Carey?
No, it was a guy.
Drew Carey?
You know what? That could have been it.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. He was smoking. Anyway, Apple introduces the iPhone.
Man, whip-de-doo.
I'm going to skip the rest of this. How old were you in that year, 2007?
So is that 9 years ago?
I don't know.
So if it was 9 years ago,
This is tough.
take off 9. 32?
Carry the one. Yeah.
32.
Yeah. I was 26. Great year.
You were 26?
Yeah.
So I was 39. No, I was
39.
20. Wait, you said how old were you?
You're 6 years older than me. I was 26, and you got it right. You said 32. Anyway, enough of this bullcrap. Why did we choose to watch the IT Crowd?
There's 3 simple criteria that we have and a phantom. 1, it had to be a failed pilot, did not go to series. That's 1.
Yep.
2, it had to be readily available. We had to find it on the interwebs.
Yeah, that's right.
The only other time this happened is anything different than the interwebs is when Dustin brought us the DVD of Fuzz Bucket.
Well, you know what? It still had to be found.
Right.
That time you had to have or happened to have a good quality version
Sure.
of it, but we still have to. The frequent flyers still need to find these things.
Right. Oh yeah.
For free.
And then that was the other one for free.
For free. Those are the 3 things.
And the phantom is that it's in the aughts.
Right. We're in our 4th season.
Gosh,
It's
it's been great.
It's been great. One more season. We're in a syndication.
Cha-ching.
Cha-ching.
Cha-ching. We start charging $10 per podcast.
Boy, we get exactly 0 downloads. Where can you find the IT Crowd? You can find the entire episode by subscribing to Couch Pilots in iTunes or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes.
Now, I hate to interrupt. I apologize. I know you have a big scripted thing, but the show notes for this, the blue link for this, the IT Crowd will be the first thing on the show notes now.
Well, why is that? Why have we reconstructed the show notes?
We've done many things to the show notes. We've changed about quite a bit of things. We timestamp the segments so people can go straight to certain segments if they would like.
Okay.
The blue link for the show that we're watching is before the show notes, and the blue link for the episode for the next is at the bottom.
It's nice to have that separation.
Mm-hmm.
And with all these changes, though, you would think that maybe the links would change color.
Nope. Blue.
True blue.
True blue is the way to go. Blue nights.
Blue days, blue nights. I tell you what, to me, that's the only way to find this pilot, is to subscribe to the show, look at our show notes, see what we're currently talking about, see what's coming down the pike next week. But if you're a psychopath, if you are morally bankrupt, please go to whatculture.com and search the IT Crowd, and you can find the pilot there, too, if you like. So let's take off.
Flight attendants, prepare for takeoff, please.
Just wave to DSJ real quick.
Let's wave. Hey, DSJ, look at those gold medals.
Whoa.
Blinding, aren't they?
Wow.
And into the air we go. A good thing I bring it up, and you do this stuff in the middle, and then I bring it back
Right,
down.
because I was blinded.
You were blinded. I know better to look directly into the gold medals.
All right. You know what? My mom always said, don't look directly into the gold medals.
And what did you just do?
I just looked into the gold medals.
Yeah, you sure did. Summary of the pilot. A team of computer geeks work in the IT department of a major company. Yep.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically what the show is. This is
We can stop recording right now.
right. This pilot basically takes place in like a 3-hour span of a workday.
Yeah, and someone's in the basement of a building, too,
Yeah.
nonetheless. And that really does sum up. And as we always say, a good summary really sums up the pilot.
Exactly. That's what I say.
This is a delicate part of the show we're moving into called Interesting Facts. Yeah, go ahead. Are you in the right mindset for this?
Yeah, I just like to take a deep breath.
That's fine.
I want all of the listeners, whenever Jason says, and now it's time for the interesting facts, just breathe in through your mouth, out through your nose.
A lot of people clench up their anuses, and any sphincter within their body will kind of
Sure.
clench at this point. I want people to relax.
Yeah, I mean, we want it to be a good time.
Have a good time, but remember there are rules in place. You know, just like would it be fun and relaxing to yell fire in a movie theater?
Oh, it'd be hilarious.
Absolutely. But can you do it?
No,
Don't do it.
it's against the law.
It's against the law. So kind of like that, almost exactly like that, I would say, is we want you to have a great time during the Interesting Facts section where we talk about behind the scenes factoids, little bits, tidbits, fun things you might not know about the pilot that won't be discussed in the pilot, but we dug them up for you.
Yep.
We did the hard work, the heavy lifting.
Like paleontologists.
We are very similar to Indiana Jones and what's that? Not Vince Neil, not the guy from Poison. Is it Vince Neil from Motley Crue?
Vince Neil's from Motley Crue.
Okay. The other Neil, Sam Neill from Jurassic Park.
I've never seen it.
You really got to get on that, buddy. Anyway, we're going to give you these facts. Play them as they lie. Don't talk about them. Don't give us your comments on them. Don't hit us on Twitter
You can
or
talk
Facebook.
to your wife about them. I know Jeff talks to his wife about them all the time. They sit in bed and lay half naked and be like, "What'd you think of that fact?"
Which half do you think is naked? Left, right?
Well, her bottom half.
Okay.
His top half.
Nice.
Yep.
What if it was a top hat?
He wears a top hat.
Okay. Interesting facts. This American version of the British show was filmed in January 2007, and a full series was ordered, advertised by NBC to be aired in 2007 and 2008.
Okay.
Reasonable?
Yeah.
Right, that's a fact. It starred Richard Ayoade, I think that's how you say his name, reprising his role as Moss, with Joel McHale as Roy, Jessica St. Clair as Jen, and Rocky Carroll as Denholm. Now, Richard Ayoade, the black guy,
Right.
did you recognize him from anything?
Rocky?
No, Rocky was the big boss.
But he was black too.
Yeah, there were two black people. The show was half black.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's good.
Diversity-wise, you bet it's good.
Yep. In 2007, diversity was important.
And to me, it's still important to this day.
What was the question? Moss?
Did you recognize? Yeah, did
No,
you recognize?
I've
him
never
from
seen him before in my life.
I've seen him pop up.
Was
in
he in
comedy
Jurassic
movies.
Park?
He was the little boy in Jurassic Park.
Okay.
And he almost got eaten by that velociraptor.
Oh, the Velocas. They're so damn...
He made it out to fight another day.
There you
Joel McHale, as I personally love him from The Soup, that he hosted for a long time, and Community, one of my all-time favorite sitcoms on television. Do you know Joel McHale from anything? Do you like
Soup.
him? The Soup?
Yeah.
Did you like him on there? Or did you,
Oh, yeah. I liked him. I liked him better than the guy with the dyed hair stripe.
Oh, you don't like John Henson?
Yeah.
When I was young, I think he has maybe a more immature humor, and I really liked John Henson. So I thought he was the greatest thing that ever happened. As far as Joel McHale goes, though, you're not a Community fan.
Never seen it.
No. Do you feel like he's similar to your boyfriend Michael Ian Black, in that they're both kind of this smart aleck, smarmy kind of guy? Or
No.
No, you don't get
not
that
at all.
Okay, just asking. Now I heard you get a Meta World Peace milk boner when I mentioned Jessica St. Clair.
Now, I love Jessica St. Clair. I can talk for hours on Jessica St. Clair.
Can we cut down to maybe 90 seconds?
Sure.
Okay.
I first heard her on Comedy Bang Bang.
Sure.
She does the character Melissa Wampler. Then she had a spin-off podcast called Womp It Up with Melissa Wampler, and I enjoyed it. I've seen her in a couple things.
She was on a short-lived sitcom for NBC, I believe, and now she's on USA Network.
I believe so, yeah. She's gorgeous, buxom blonde. Gorgeous buxom blonde.
She's not. Is she buxom?
Oh, she's buxom.
Okay.
I would buxom her till the cows come home.
She's a good-looking girl.
She was on. Well, I just saw her. She was the husband of Daly on Reviews.
She played his husband
She played his wife.
of John or Andy Daly.
She played Andy Daly's wife on Reviews. The
I love
first
that guy.
season,
I never saw that show.
first
but I
two
like that guy.
seasons. You should watch it. They after the second season they went to somebody else, but
What? There's a third season with a different guy at the helm? That sucks.
Yeah.
I like Andy Daly a lot.
yes.
And then Rocky Carroll, which is a guy I recognize, but I can't place him.
Yeah, I'm just a character actor, the fill-in guy.
The show is produced by Fremantle Media for Universal Media Studios, with Steve Tao as executive producer. I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is. Yeah.
It's a fact.
That's true.
It's a fact that I don't know who he is.
Not very interesting.
That's not really fucking Jesus Christ.
Well, I said this not interesting. We've never talked about that.
You're wrong.
We always say, don't tell us the facts are interesting. I just said that fact is not interesting.
We always say there's no qualifiers, there's no adjectives. Saying something is not interesting is just a big offense to saying it is interesting.
What?
Yes, because you're still qualifying it. You're still saying, you're still putting.
Why
your
are you
opinion
talking
on it.
about racing?
What are you talking about? Equestrian?
Qualifying.
No, that's equestrian.
No, qualifying. Like you're like that
No.
fact qualifies
No.
for the Indianapolis 500.
You know that's not what I'm talking about. You're trying to change the subject away from the fact that you are violating the sacred segment of interesting facts.
Conrad, email us at couchpilotspodcast@gmail.com and tell Jason that he's wrong.
I think there's plenty of room in California. If you want to go out there and French kiss your buddy Conrad, and you guys can sit around all day poking each other, saying, "Hey, this is interesting. This is not." But you know what? Not here.
Okay.
Not on my watch.
I'm sorry. I guess I didn't. To me, it wasn't clear.
I mean, how many episodes of this show do we have to do before you realize exactly what this segment is about?
Obviously, about 41.
Yeah, that sounds right. At least for the pilot episode, the entire show was almost an exact copy of the British show with the same name, even to the point of casting Richard Ayoade as the exact same character with the same personality, accent, and dress. The basement office was almost identical to the British show as well. The only difference was the rest of the cast and a few lines of dialogue were changed. This was, again, originally a British show.
Right. On YouTube, you can go and you can see where they have both
side by side
going at the same time, and it is like Control V.
I don't know what that Control paste or paste.
Yeah.
Okay, like they copied and pasted it.
Yeah, like you do for half the stuff that you come up with.
How do you know that? Not what I do, but how did you know that about the split screen? Are you doing research on the shows now?
No, I just heard of something I read.
Fair enough. According to a report in the Hollywood Reporter in September 2007, the show had not gone into production and was to be canceled, despite the fact that a number of scripts had already been written, stating the series didn't quite spark with new NBC chairman Ben Silverman, Jew.
So there was no Jew in it.
I don't know.
That's probably what it was.
I mean, if you have a last name like Silverman, you're probably Jewish.
Right. No, yeah, I'm just saying there wasn't a Jew in the actual pilot, and so he's like, I don't like it. I didn't hear the word bar mitzvah one time, or hugeschlaf.
Now, what does that mean?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yarmulke.
You think every pilot has to have like a menorah or
Santa Maria?
The ill-fated voyage of Christopher Columbus and the Santa Maria and the menorah. That's right. I don't know what sparks with Ben Silverman. Maybe it is the fact that there was a lack of Jewish characters.
L'chaim.
L'chaim?
L'chaim.
Is that the guy who made Two Half Men?
No, that's what they say when it's like a amen, like L'chaim.
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 It's like you got phlegm in the back of your throat.
Sure.
Right? You're speaking.
It's hard for me to do because I have my
Yiddish.
teeth in.
I would say that would probably give you an advantage, but you say no? Oh, yeah. Looking good.
Thank you.
In 2012, the pilot was leaked online, which helps us.
Oh, it's how this podcast was born.
We're talking about it.
Global Frequency was leaked. Was one of the first pilots ever leaked, and then it was like the Niagara Falls of leaked pilots.
And then we talk about it, and we blow it out in the atmosphere. We explode it. Richard Ayoade says, I'm just going to call him Richard, Dick A.
Okay. Dick A.
Dick A says about his reprising his role, I was the only one dumb enough to do it. It was deeply weird. It was a bit like a play where everyone else had left. It was very odd.
Yeah. I would think that would be odd. If you want to try to bring something over from British TV, that's one thing. But to make the first episode
a carbon
copy it shows no originality. To me, it's actually insulting that he was even on this show.
Yeah,
for him.
The last thing I do when working on the show is actually watch the show. So I go in with a lot of this information. Sure. I try not to think about it while I'm watching the show.
Sure, you don't want to have a bias of some kind,
right? I want
an interesting facts bias.
Take it in as it comes because again, I watch it close to the time we record, so it's fresh in my mind, and I do the research throughout the week. But I went into this thinking this guy has done this whole thing before.
Yeah,
I know there was a movie a while back, Vanilla Sky. I think we talked about it before. And Penelope Cruz in that movie, she had actually played that same role with virtually the same dialogue, except she did it as a Spanish film or maybe Mexican film. But she played the same character. I think that'd be very odd.
That would be very odd.
To play that same character.
You're like, hey, I can do it. I mean, you didn't have to work very hard. You're like, I've done it before.
Here's DVD proof.
Yeah.
A German version of the show exists, Das I-Team, Die Jungs and der Maus, and that's English for, or German for rather, the I-Team, The Boys at the Mouse. That one lasted twice as long as the American version.
Oh, so 2 episodes.
That's right, before that was promptly canceled. In October 2014, it was announced that NBC is going to produce another pilot for the show, this time produced by Bill Lawrence. You know Bill Lawrence? I think he did Scrubs. That's his big one. And I want to say...
I don't want no Scrubs.
No, the Scrub is a guy who can't get no love from me, right?
Exactly.
Now, what side of a vehicle would he be hanging out of, do you think?
Huh?
What side of a vehicle would a Scrub be hanging out of? Passenger side.
Passenger side of my best friend's ride. I got you.
I think Bill Lawrence also did Cougar Town, I want to say.
Hey, Cougar Town. Josh Hopkins, a buddy of Couch Pilots.
Friend of the show.
Friend of the show.
That's it.
Whether he wants to be or not.
He's at home, like, snapping pencils. Like, I don't want nothing to do with these bastards. That's it. That's all we got this week. No more interesting facts.
No mas.
Let's close the book.
Close it.
On interesting facts.
We're 30 minutes into this, bitch.
Well, let's go ahead and take a quick break, and
Okay.
we'll come back and talk about the pilot. Let's hear a little something from our good friends at Drunken Lullabies.
Do you like craft beer? Do you like music? If you don't like either of those, I hope you at least like laughing. And if I've still got your attention, the reason I'm asking is this. I want you to check out my upcoming podcast called Drunken Lullabies. I'm joined by my co-host Blake Szymanski and a rotating cast of characters. We do beer reviews, play music by bands we think you need to know, make you laugh a lot, and hopefully get you tipsy right along with us. We'll be bringing you a new episode every Sunday, and we hope you'll close your weekends out with us at Drunken Lullabies. We'll educate you on new beers to try, new albums to hear, and make you laugh at non-stop pop culture references and juvenile behavior, which is what you've come to expect from the Fakakta Comedy Funhouse. Look us up at fcfnetwork.com. We'll see you on the Sabbath. Cheers.
Ow. Oh! Drunken Lullabies. No other show out there like it.
If you like craft beer,
Tons of craft beer.
tons. I mean, there's been. I recently went to a taping of an episode. They drank a beer, a bomber, I guess is what it was called, like a taller beer bottle.
That's right.
They drank a bomber that they valued at almost $450.
They're insane.
I said, "You guys are idiots. I would sell that. Screw." They're like, "Oh, I'd rather, instead of selling, I'd rather sit around with my friends and, so we can all enjoy it." Fuck you guys. Sell that shit.
That's what I always. It's like in things in life.
It's the most expensive podcast there is.
Oh, for sure. And as far as fuck your friends. Absolutely right. It's for me. It's first on the list. You got God. Second, money, and then your friends. So always money before friends.
Oh, yes.
Always.
Money before friends. Pussy before friends.
Amen to that, brother. Hose all the way before your bros.
You know what? Queso dip before friends.
Oh, my God. I didn't even think about it. Man, all these things before friends.
Yeah.
We got to get the list together. But before we do that, let's break down the pilot of the IT crowd.
Break it down.
Break it. Pilot. This is another one where you feel like it really was leaked because it has bizarre title cards in the front that give you information that I, as the viewer at home, I don't care about.
No.
This is for studio executives and people who are making decisions and want to see timestamps and all this crap. And it opens with, it says pilot, delivery presentation master, not for air. Oddly enough, we're watching it. March 8th, 2007. TRT, total running time, 21.26. And it said over 16 seconds. Do you remember that? Did you see that on there?
Yeah.
What does that mean? Is 16 seconds too long?
Could have been. Is that like you think it's notes from somebody?
Yeah,
Or-
maybe his notes.
Oh, it's supposed to be 21 minutes exactly, and it went 16 seconds.
Well, it's 21.26, so maybe it's supposed to be 21 minutes and 10 seconds. And maybe that's what sitcoms are supposed to be, so they can dump in, 8.5 minutes worth of commercials and what
could
have
be.
you. I don't know. I think they probably could have dumped 10 seconds out of the intro if they really had to, right? The theme song or whatever it was. No, do you not remember the theme song? Let's look at that. Can you hear me?
Yeah. The theme song didn't come on until later on. Oh, you're saying just dump it all together?
Yeah, if you had to cut 16 seconds from the show at all.
I feel like we're not on the same page tonight.
What? How can we get there? Do we have to go back to back and kiss each other?
Okay.
Ready? Oh, hey. Mouth closed. No. Nope.
My bad. All right, let's go. People don't care about us kissing.
They
People
will.
don't care about
Someday they will. The show opens in an office. At first I thought my viewing device was broken because it was a black man with like his arms folded, looking sternly into the camera, and I was like, "Oh, so this is freezing on me already."
Right, it's freezing on me. It's buffering.
Perfect. 3-4 Mississippi later, and that's a testament to our culture. We always have to see things moving. We always have someone's got to be talking. There's got to be no break in the noise, kind of like this show.
Exactly.
To where let's say, hey,
let's just try something different. Let's do a 5 Mississippi with nothing.
But the people are gonna love this.
Okay, ready?
All right, I'm ready.
And go.
1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi. Boy, that seemed like forever, didn't it? Complete silence for 5 Mississippi.
So there's a picture of this African American gentleman staring at the screen, and then it pans out to that same black gentleman
In the same pose.
but that was a picture on his wall.
Right.
And then the laugh track kicks in. Like, as soon as he comes on the screen and like your brain processes, oh, that was a picture of this, the laugh track is turned up. The volume on the laugh track on this is super loud.
I did notice that. I felt like either it was turned up loud or they were just laughing super hard.
Super hard. A horrible,
really
horrible
trying
joke.
to sweeten up the show.
In walks Jessica Sinclair.
She's at the desk, and he says, I like to stare people down to really get a sense of them. And that seems like an alpha male, art of war tactic.
Sure.
Where someone's just really staring you down and say, hey, you know what? Who's going to break first? Who's in control of the room?
Yeah, and there was by this time there's already like 4 laugh tracks, and like there was not even a punchline. Like there wasn't even a joke, and it was like ah.
Yeah, this is some Big Bang Theory stuff right here.
Yeah.
I know. I'm sorry. I know you
That's
love
all
that
right.
show.
So basically, she's in there. He's looking over her resume. He's like, "Do you know anything about computers?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, emails.
Receiving, sending,
Yeah."
deleting, filing emails. I can do all that.
He's like, "Great, you're hired."
He says, you're moving down to the IT department. You're in charge of these guys. Great group of guys. Top notch. The best people there are. She's like, really? He's like, no, I've never met him. I don't know anything about him.
Right.
But you're in charge of him.
Right.
So get your ass down there. And you're down there. It kind of pans across. They go down to the IT department. They pan across. There's no one down there. And eventually you get over to Joel McHale sitting at a desk. And it looks like, not like a college student's room, a teenager's room, right?
Yes, I was like, it looks like a frat house.
High five it.
Look, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't even need to be there. It's almost too much visual stimulation. Like, IT guys, IT nerds, they don't collect signs. They don't.
Jesus, I was just thinking stop signs on the wall.
There was so many exits and stop signs
yeah.
and do not enter signs, and I'm like, they don't. They wouldn't. I mean, if anything, there'd be like Pokemon signs, or you know what I mean. Like this
anime action figures.
Yeah, stuff like that, or World of Warcraft, Dungeons and Dragons stuff. There's not going to be all these. Like, it's not like these guys are rebels and went out and stole all these signs.
This is
like,
borderline hoarder business. It's an Applebee's on steroids. As much crap.
Exactly.
On the
There's not one speck of a desk front or a wall or anything that's not covered with something. And it really was. It really hurts your eyes.
They could have had swastika wallpaper, and I would never know because the whole wall is.
And then there was.
And
That's why the Jewish president of NBC didn't want it.
He passed on it.
Mm-hmm. He's like, look at that swastika.
He saw
They
the
see it.
visible.
They can see them.
They can see it all.
Super easy. Kind of like when you buy a new car, you think nobody else has it, and then you drive home and like you see 7 of them.
Everyone's got that car. Well, they get down there, and he's in charge of the IT department. So people, it sounds like within the building, call them, contact them with problems, and he's sitting doing nothing, legs up on the chair, just hanging out. And then someone calls. He's like, "Hey, can you hold for one moment?" And then he finishes like a piece of candy or whatever the hell he's working on with his mouth. Wait till he swallows, good and ready. And again, the laugh track is going on. They cannot believe what they're seeing.
Right.
This is the greatest and funniest thing since
He
Benny
put
Hill.
him on hold, and he's not doing anything.
He finishes up. He gets back to them. And then he does kind of start to become a smart ass with them. Like, hey, did you press the button on?
Yeah. Just like everybody does, like when you call on IT support, and did you turn it off and turn it back on? Wait 10 seconds. And he's being a smart ass about it.
And then in walks the tall, nerdy black man who looks like his hair was in a garbage disposal.
Right, and he's got a British accent.
Right.
And I'm like, this is weird. Whenever I see a black guy with a British accent, it throws me off. Like that boxer.
Joe Louis,
No,
Sugar Ray
He
Leonard.
beat Mike Tyson. Buster Douglas?
Evander Holyfield,
No, Buster Douglas.
Buster Douglas.
I think he had
Okay.
he was a black guy. And he had a British accent. It threw me off.
You know what I like? I like black British ladies.
Yes,
That's
I
what
saw
I
a
like.
porno today with one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where they have the cab. They think they're going into a cab and they can't pay, so then they have to have sex with them.
I've seen it. I've never had that happen before. I've never talked to someone like, I've seen that porno. There are so many pornos out there. She wasn't a fat lady, but she was a thick lady, right?
She's a little bit thick.
This is great. I have never bonded with someone over having seen the same pornography. This is great. What a couch. High five that one. Nice. I like that one.
Yeah.
That girl is, I'm going to watch that when I get home, I think.
She's pretty hot.
Oh, boy. Fantastic. I think we've had a breakthrough here. I think we're on the same page finally.
Yeah, we're back in the stride.
Just took one British naked woman to who happens to be black. So the guy walks in, the black British dude, and he gets on the phone and he speaks very intelligently. He's not rude, but he speaks almost to the point where you can't understand him because he's very technical.
Sure,
But
he's
very earnest.
Right, he's a technical guy that can't put it into layman's terms.
Socially retarded in that way.
Right.
No offense, DSJ. They pan back over to Ron, which is Joel McHale, and he's kind of getting into it
Roy?
with this person. What did I say, Ron?
Yeah,
It's Roy.
it's
You're right.
Roy.
Absolutely right. My mistake. You're always on point with those names. You always got them down.
Thank you.
He's getting it. He's like, "Oh yeah, why don't you come over here?" And it turns out it's a girl named Emily or something.
Sure.
He's like,
Yeah, he's
"Oh."
getting all mouthy. Like, why don't you come down here and get in my face, or let's
Yeah.
fight about it, or something
Yeah.
like that. It's really stupid.
It was ridiculous. And then it goes back upstairs. Oh, you have something else?
Well,
to say?
he gets off the phone and he's complaining about how they're not respected. IT guys aren't respected.
Yeah.
I'm like,
They only call when they want something.
well,
Girls don't.
That's
wanna
what
talk
you're
to us.
for, dumbass.
Yeah. And then if you act like an asshole, who wants to talk to you anyway? And that's kind of the joke. But was it funny? Eh. Go back upstairs. You've got the newly hired Jen walking around with the boss, whose name was Durham or.
Oh,
Jen?
before that, wasn't that before that? Is when they go to the Atari graphics and intro.
Oh, in the intro. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this intro is the exact same as the British version. They were that lazy.
It was like a 8-bit.
Yeah, it
graphics.
Was, yeah, it was kind of like, and again, you haven't seen Jurassic Park, but there's a part in the movie where they go into the security system, and it feels like you're in a virtual reality world, which is wildly unnecessary.
Sure.
It's a click a file. You don't have to pretend like you're in a world floating above individual files. Just
Right.
click on a file.
Yeah, and it just and like the music was like that annoying like Atari
Yeah, the 8-bit kind of music.
yeah, it's
the
just
whole
real
thing.
loud and real sharp and real
And
digital.
All the characters in the show come in, they look like they're digitalized 8-bit
Sure.
versions of themselves,
Stupid.
and then it is kind of silly. And then I think each of them are like beating a computer, is what
Yeah.
it is, right? Anyway, so the intro's over, and it's okay. The intro's okay. They go back to the boss walking the newly hired Jen to the elevator, and she's like, "I cannot believe I'm this high up on the
Beautiful scenery.
beautiful building that we're working. This is fantastic." And she's like, "Well, check out this gender-neutral bathroom." They open it up, and there's two people making out in there.
Yeah, they're actually getting it on.
They're really, a
It's
guy and a girl in there.
unisex.
Oh, unisex. I'm sorry, not gender-neutral. My mistake. And he says, "Yeah, this is up here. It's sexy people not doing much work, having affairs. It's a great place to work."
Right. And she's like, "Great. Where will I be working?"
And because she's like, so excited about being so high in the building,
Sure.
she's like, "Oh, you're in the basement.
And then he pushes the button because she's in the elevator. And he's like, "You're in the basement.
I'll see you
And
at Christmas."
See you at the Christmas party." And she's like, "That's like 11 months away."
Ding. Goes all the way down to the basement, and she has trouble getting out of the door. Immediately when they go down there, it looks like that she's walking through some sort of toxic waste field. There's big black barrels. There's ladders.
Yellow tape.
Yeah, yellow tape. There's dirt, trash, just kind of bags of
But there's
trash.
a bathroom.
What's that?
There's a bathroom down there. She opens up the bathroom. And the guy's
Yeah, okay, you'll have to tell me because I was writing when this happened and I missed it and I didn't rewind because I was scared that my app wasn't going to work, despite the fact that it was a blue link.
he was jerking off. He had to have been. 'Cause
Did it
he
show
was,
the guy?
Yeah, and he said something like "Good day out there" or something. He said something to her, and he was standing up. So he was either wiping his butt standing up or he was jerking off.
Oh my god! So I mean, the biggest offense downstairs is there's no locks in the bathrooms. So Jen goes and she finds the IT room, and she cannot believe what she sees.
Sure.
She's like, this is filth-ridden, this bunch of animals working down here. She starts sifting through the cart, sorting through some things, looking around, trying to get a feel for what's happening. And meanwhile, the guys come back from lunch. They see her, and they're like, from the back, it's a good-looking woman.
Oh, from the back, from the front, from the side, from the top, she's good looking.
You and I, having seen all the signs of Jessica St. Clair, we can agree it's a good-looking woman.
Sure.
But at that time, those characters
All they
only
saw
see
was
the
her
back.
rump.
And so like, you know what, we gotta freshen up.
Yeah.
So what does Joe McHale do?
He gets out deodorant from his desk and rubs it under his arm, but with his shirt on.
And doesn't he rub it on his tongue too?
Yes.
Insanity.
And Moss, I think, what does he do? He combs his hair with a computer board, like a chip, like.
Yeah, it already looks like his hair has been, been spinning around a tilt-a-whirl, but
Right.
now he's combing it with computer parts. So, yikes! And then they leave the room, and then they re-enter the room,
Talking-
loudly and obnoxiously about their manly feats
Sure.
of strength, and which she is not impressed.
No.
No, she sees right through the bull crap, and she said, "Okay, where's my office? This is probably it over here?" And it's again just an extension of their office. It's disgusting and filled with crap and
Sure.
just
Unorganized. And for a guy with OCD such as yourself, I mean, you had to have just felt uncomfortable watching this, just from a standpoint of cleanliness.
In the beginning, we talked about the timestamp is 21.26 minutes. I think it took me about 4.5 hours to watch. So I had to keep pausing, getting up, washing my hands,
Sure.
steaming a hot towel on my face.
Oh, I love a hot steam towel on face.
It really took me a long time to get through this because every step of the way I felt dirty, which is the case. It was a dirty place to work. And so let's see, where are we at here? I got lost. The boys say, you know what? This girl knows nothing about.
Yeah, they're like
computers.
they're like, wait a minute, she doesn't know anything. How? Because there was an argument about who's in charge, whose department is this?
Right, and he thinks he's in charge. Moss thinks he's in charge.
And she's like, nope, I'm in charge.
It's me, fellas. Like, this girl doesn't know anything about computers at all.
No, we're gonna bust her out, and then we're gonna go up and tell Rocky.
Yep, we're gonna let the big boss know that this person he hired stinks up the joint.
Right. So they go into her office, and she's on the phone,
Yep.
and she's just talking away, and she finally hangs up because she was talking to the boss,
Right.
and she's like, "What can you guys do for me?" And Moss is like, "Do you need me to? This came in. Do you need me to connect your phone? It wasn't even plugged in."
No, and he seems genuinely duped by her because he's like,
He didn't understand.
he's like, no, I was on, and he's like, no, I was just talking on it. It's fine. And he lifts up the phone. There's no cords connected. So, well, how are you talking to people? And he seemed genuinely like,
Because
how
again,
how are you doing this?
he doesn't understand. He's the nerd,
Takes people at face value.
right? He doesn't understand sarcasm, none of that stuff, and so he can't decipher it. Whereas Roy is the opposite. Roy's streetwise, lazy,
Yeah.
smart ass.
Yeah. Comes
So
back.
I'm the Moss, and you're the Roy.
Sure. He comes back in and it says, hey, I'll hook up your computer. And she's like, pretends she's on the computer and it's not even
Right.
plugged in. So I don't know what the hell she's doing in her office today. This is before, we're talking about the iPhone was just released, so she probably doesn't have it.
Right.
So what was she doing all day? Impossible to say.
She was organizing pens.
Probably so. And so they're like, this is it. Confirmed. You know nothing. We're taking you up to the boss.
Mr. Denham's office.
And we're going to take you out and we're going to say to the boss, hey, you don't know anything.
Yeah, they're going to tell on her.
And why she's very willingly going with
Oh,
them.
yeah. She's like, all right, let's just go up there then.
Yeah, why would she do that? I feel like it would be a situation where the two guys would go, or one of the guys would go, and then she'd be down there crying the blues.
Right.
But it's
Because
not-
girls cry the blues.
Oh.
White girls cry the blues
They say boys don't cry, girls do cry.
all the time. Tonight, we were at the dinner table,
Yeah.
and Eli said, just out of nowhere, no prompting at all, goes, happy wife and a happy life. And we both looked at him, and I said, there's some caveats that they don't tell you.
Such as?
Well, hold on. And Molly looks at me and she goes, he doesn't know what a caveat is.
It's like fish eggs that you put on
Right,
crackers.
right. And I said, first of all, yes, a happy wife is a happy life. But to make that wife happy is virtually impossible.
Oh.
I said, you got to have a whole bunch of Benjamins. And he said, what are Benjamins?
It's like the little fish eggs on crackers.
Exactly. I'm like, you got to have a lot of that to make them happy.
Is Molly slamming down her forks at this point?
No, she's just rolling her eyes and eating. She knows that,
Making her. She knows that she is impossible to please.
Right. And he said, Mom, why don't you, can you tell, what's something that makes you really, really happy? And it can't be a person.
Oh.
You know what? sad to say, she couldn't think of anything.
She didn't pick caveat.
No.
That's
No, obviously that would be what you would pick.
Right. Yeah, I would say so.
So they're up in Mr. Denham's office, and he's on the phone. He's like, "What do you mean you're not working as a team? You got to work as a team. Team, talking on the phone to somebody else.
I want a good team. I need some teamwork.
Yeah, and if you can't be a team, you're all fired." And so then he gets back, and he hangs up the phone. He gets back on the phone. He's like, "Hey, security team, go to
Fourth floor's fired. Everyone on the fourth floor.
you can't be a team. Blah 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 blah." In a laugh track the whole time. Ha 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 ha.
The crowd loves unemployment. They
Right.
are crazy for it.
Right. So then they're like, "Oh wait, if we don't look like a team, we're all gonna get fired." So they're like, "Nope, we're fine. We're and they drag.
It's like, okay, I'm sorry I was so rude on the phone. What can I help you guys with?
They're like, "Oh, nothing." And Moss, of course, he doesn't understand, what is going on. He can't socially comprehend it. So he starts to, and they grab him by the mouth.
He's about saying, we don't think that. And it's like, oh, no,
Yeah.
shut up.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we just want to come up here and tell you that we got the new coffee maker, and it's fantastic.
Right.
Thank you so much for the new coffee maker. They get out of there. They hightail it out there. He's kind of like, okay, great. And then as soon as it's gone, he's like, hey, cancel that security request. I'm keeping the IT folk in line. They're getting a little.
Right. He knew.
Get a
He
little
knew
antsy.
they were.
He's got his eyes everywhere, doesn't
That's
he?
why he's the big boss.
That's why he's the big boss. That's why he makes the big money. That's why he says, security, head downstairs later and pick up that coffee machine. I want that out of there.
And then put it in the executive coffee.
That's right.
Break room.
We need to get a coffee maker for our pilot's lounge.
I'll write that down.
Make a note. Thank you.
Coffee maker.
Yeah, perfect.
Now, do you want like a Keurig?
Give me a Katie Keurig,
Okay.
and then I'm more. You know what? I mocha latte.
Okay.
Maybe I don't. I'm sorry to. I hope that's
No,
not,
mocha
okay.
latte is. I'm all over it.
Great.
Nice mocha latte. How do you spell latte? Latte.
Correct.
Okay.
Then they get back downstairs, kind of thinking we're probably stuck in this situation where the three of us are gonna have to work together. I guess we'll have to work it out.
Right, and they're like, nobody likes us here.
Yeah.
Everybody hates us, and nobody respects us. And she's like, well, let's figure it out. Let's figure out how to.
And right when they're about ready to start figuring some stuff out, a woman comes downstairs.
Emily.
And it's the same person that Roy was talking on the phone with and get into it, and she proceeds to beat him about the face and body with her feet and fists.
Kicks the shit out of him.
Really, beats the hell from this man. And then Jen kind of steps in and says, hey, those shoes you're beating him to death with,
I love them.
work.
Girls can do that.
Girls love shoes.
Girls love shoes and podcasts.
You and I, we love crack cocaine.
Oh, heroin, crack cocaine, anything to get me high.
Those girls, that's their crack. Is shoes.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're ever trying to get in the mindset of a woman,
Put on
and
their shoes.
First of all, walk a mile in her shoes. Second of all, do some crack and realize that's the same feeling they get when they start talking about and buying shoes.
Amen to that, brother.
And so she's like,
L'chaim.
yeah, l'chaim indeed. She says, we'll have to go shopping sometime, this, that, and the other,
Yeah. And she's
saving
like,
sales. And she's like, okay, well, I'll see you later, girlfriend, bye. And then Jen at this point realizes, hey, I can manage things. I can manage situations. I can manage people.
I can manage the confrontation between IT and the rest of this building.
Right. I stopped Roy from dying right now because of my managing skills.
Mm-hmm.
Let's figure out a way to increase your cred with the rest of the building.
Right, and then they go into this A-Team montage.
Dun,
The A-Team.
dun,
Dun, dun, dun. And it really is really lame. It's a lame montage. Like, they're just scribbling, and it's just very fake and really bad acting. And then all comes up with they're throwing paper in the wastebasket. They can't figure it out. And then they have a sign that says office party today, 5:15.
Yeah, like this big, like there's like some fantastic
Plan.
Photoshop, beautifully printed out flyer for something, and it turns out to be stick figures saying "Come down for our party."
Yeah.
And which people do. People do show up to the party.
Sure.
I hope
Okay,
they-
when you say party, everybody's there.
Oh, I'm there. Hey, what's going on this weekend?
A party.
I'm there.
Ain't-
Sign
ain't-
me up.
Ain't no party like a couch pot.
Party.
What? Ain't no party like a couch pilot's party.
Party because a
Couch pilot's party.
takes off.
I like it.
You like
All right.
that? So everyone's drinking at the party, and for some reason, Roy is everyone's loving Roy.
Right, which is exactly the opposite of what you would think.
Right. They're kind of, people who are not seen as friendly or liked, kind of these people with, crosshairs on their forehead that people try to give a wide berth, but he's down there pouring drinks,
Box wine,
being
baby.
funny. Everyone loves it. And he's like, hey, this guy I work with, Moss, we went out to Las Vegas. We had a hell of a time. He lost his glasses. Moss, get out here. Bring
Right.
that bowl of pretzels with you. Tell everyone the story.
And then he goes off screen, goes to get some more box wine, and Moss proceeds to talk about this story about them getting hookers, and they didn't have enough money for the hookers, and ended up taking them to an amusement park instead.
In which the hookers said, you know what, we'll charge you half because coitus was not
yeah.
involved.
Yeah.
And they said, okay. And Moss is he's socially awkward, but he seems pleased with himself that he's
Sure.
giving this story. No one else is pleased.
No, everybody's like, "What is weird?"
In other countries, maybe even like Amsterdam, you can go buy a whore and no one will think twice about it.
Sure.
And honestly,
Yeah.
I wish that was
Hold
the
on,
way.
hold on.
Amsterdam.
Can we get that on? Can we get there on one tank of gas?
We might have to stop over in New Haven.
Okay.
But I mean, it's not. I know a guy over there.
Okay, I was gonna say I got a cousin in New Haven.
Okay, that's fine. But otherwise, we can get to Amsterdam pretty quick.
Sweet. Let's plan that trip.
Yeah, that's fine.
Let's go get the coffee maker from.
They've had the best.
Well, let's do it.
Yeah.
Do they have mocha latte?
I'd have to check with my contact and your
Okay.
cousin to see.
All right.
Anyway, so he's telling a story about prostitutes, and you know what? Prostitutes, it should be legal, right?
Yeah.
A man and a woman, as long as they consent.
When a man buys a woman. I love it.
Was that Michael Bolton?
Yeah.
That's a great
I
song.
love it.
When a man buys a woman. Or when a man buys a man. Any
It
combination
doesn't
of
matter.
genitals
When a girl
and
buys a
currency.
girl.
Yeah.
I'm really into strap-on porn right now. Like
Not
girls,
me.
girls with strap-ons.
I have not
love
seen
it.
that one. I guarantee it.
Huh. I'll send you some blue links.
So you just want to take the actual fleshy phallus completely out of the scenario and have just two women going for it.
Yeah, they just seem to be really into it.
They on the same page?
Oh yeah, they're on the same page.
So he tells the story. Everyone's like, I don't like that you bought prostitutes. We
Sure.
do not care for that one
Sure.
bit. And Roy comes back in with his delicious box
Like,
of wine.
hey, did you
giggling.
tell them about how you lost your glasses?
This is great. I'm so glad you're telling that story. Everyone should be digging it. He's like, oh, I didn't tell him that story. And then immediately, Roy's thinking, well, there's only two stories from that trip,
Right.
and you told the wrong one.
Yep.
Dummy.
Yep.
And boy, did he ever. So the party after that kind of breaks up, and it makes the IT department social pariahs all over again.
Exactly. We're right back to square one.
Oh, boy. They just can't catch a break.
Nope. And at the and that's pretty much it.
A guy comes down and grabs the coffee maker. right?
Yeah. Sorry.
And then at the end, there's a photo montage.
Yes, that was the best part of the whole show.
It really was.
I put hooker photo montage best part.
And one of the prostitutes, one of which is clearly a man, right? High five it. Did you not think one was a man?
Oh yeah, one was a man because when Moss was talking about their names, it was like Randy and Angela.
It may have been Patricia Arquette. I don't know. Or, no, who's that? Who's the Arquette?
The one from Eminem movie.
One of the Arquettes is a transgender person.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You got David Arquette from Scream.
Sure.
Patricia Arquette from, I don't know.
Eminem movie,
lot of
right?
Stuff. I don't know, was she in? That was Brittany Murphy.
Oh,
And then you had Kim
she-
Basinger?
She was in a movie with River Phoenix, the Mr. Robot guy,
I don't know.
Christian Slater. Yeah, Christian Slater and that girl. She had a funky teeth.
Maybe. I don't know.
Who cares?
You can't get past it.
The thing is they had a photo montage of their trip to the amusement park. It was hilarious.
I like that. When someone takes kind of a quick offhanded remark and then explodes it unnecessarily later.
Yep.
That's always some good fun. And that's the end.
And thank God.
Thank God it's the end. This show had a lot of turbulence, and we're going to talk about that right now.
Please remain seated as we are now crossing a zone of turbulence.
Turbulence, that's where we talk about what went wrong, why it didn't work.
Why this show only had one episode. I'll tell you why right now.
Okay?
Not funny.
Not funny.
Show's not funny.
Laugh track was so overly done, it made it even more not funny. Like, even the jokes that might have landed didn't land because of the excruciatingly loud laugh track. You basically photocopied a British version of a show, brought a British actor in who really didn't really fit in. He didn't really fit into the British accent and everything. Didn't fit into with Roy and everything.
I agree. If you are making a show like NCIS or Law and Order, it doesn't really need to be funny. But if you're making a comedy, it should be funny.
Right.
This was not funny.
There was nothing funny about it except for
No.
the montage at the end.
So you say the Dick A, also known as Moss,
Yeah.
did not fit in. So is that something you would have done to improve this show? Is maybe recast that character?
Yes, definitely would have recasted the character.
Black guy, Chinaman, who would it be?
A Nation would have been funny. You know who I would have? The guy from
Ken Jeong?
Yeah, used to be a doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ken
Oh,
Jeong.
definitely.
He's great.
Yeah, definitely. He would have been perfect for this.
Yeah, make him kind of a smarmy little weasel guy.
Yeah, a little IT guy. You know what? You should have made him the antagonist, as Roy was.
Okay.
Make him the antagonist, and make Roy kind of the more technical one.
Yeah, that's something I
Yeah.
think that. Yeah.
I like that.
You think so?
Yeah.
If this had survived, where would you like to see it gone forward?
I don't want to see it go anywhere. I don't want. I'm glad it didn't. I mean, I know that kind of defeats the whole purpose of the little segment where we talk about it.
Yeah, you're really denying my premise at this point. But that's fine.
But where could it go? I mean, you
You need more characters to me.
you
You
need
had
more.
4 characters in this. You need more.
You need more characters. I guess one episode is going to be the Christmas party where the IT guys are shunned and want to try to get into the party or something.
Maybe they try to set up a Christmas tree to go along with music, and maybe it burns the Christmas tree up or something.
Yeah,
There's
or-
different ways for them to screw up while trying to be helpful or integrate into the system.
Sure. I like that. Integrated in the system
Like that?
IT. That's
Yeah.
good.
If it had gone forward, I would like to see some more characters introduced. Maybe this is always the combination. If you got, say, 5 guys, you need 3 girls. The guys always need to outnumber the girls by 1 or 2.
Yeah, if you have 2 girls, you need 1 cup.
Yeah. Okay.
Are your herpes messing up or something? What's going on with you over there?
I got some dry skin on the corner of my
God.
mouth. I'm sorry.
Are you gonna be able to make
Thank
it?
you for making light of it.
Are you? Gonna...
No, I think this cold sore is going to kill me. I think I have a dry skin right here.
Oh.
What do you think? How's it coming?
What's her name?
Him.
Oh,
Her name was him.
Randy.
Randall. Anyway,
How about you? What do you think?
I think Randy's a good guy. I wouldn't mind seeing him again.
All right.
Why the show didn't work, or what else?
Yeah, just your thoughts.
It wasn't. It took an idea, and almost honestly, I can see that almost any idea has the potential to be good. If you start with a decent thing and you got the right people in place, cast wise and writers, you can go places with it.
Sure.
But this was just an exact copy of the British version. There wasn't anything original here. They could have taken this premise, and it could have been the next version of The Office or something.
Right,
you
but
know?
like in my, like I said, it's a carbon copy. Maybe this is funny British humor. We watched The Crystal Cube and we didn't laugh at any of the jokes. Maybe over in Britain, these were funny jokes.
Granted,
Maybe they do like a laugh track. Maybe they'd like to be told when to laugh. But here in America, we want originality. We don't want you to tell us when to laugh. We're smart enough. We'll decide when to laugh. And,
it's okay.
All right.
The Crystal Cube, 30 years old, so it's that's very dated in its humor. It was not funny to me at all. British humor, it seems, because I think the IT Crowd came out in 2006 in the UK, and it came out the next year here. So they tried to develop it in the US very quickly. So humor is the same. It's not like there's a big time difference.
Sure.
But they are applying, humor from one part of the world to another, and with not altering the script hardly at all, you're trying to press upon British humor to the U.S., which is they're way too dry over there.
Right, the precipice of British humor is so much different than ours. I think what they need to do. I mean, a lot of great jokes could have been made here. Some creative, witty jokes. IT. You can make jokes all day about IT people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they just it's like they cashed it in. To me, it was like the 5th season, episode 10. It just you know what I mean?
Going through the motions.
Just going through the motions. Like, oh, we got to write this. We got to get this done.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. We're not showering praise upon this series, so I think that will definitely.
You know what? And even the acting wasn't very good. Even Jessica Sinclair, as beautiful as she was, not a very good actor in this.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Let's take this in for a final descent.
Ladies and gentlemen, As we start our descent, please make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position.
All right, IMDb score 7.2, which seems high.
Wow.
Viewer reviews, I couldn't find any viewer reviews. This is, despite being leaked 4 years ago, roughly 4 years ago online, you would think there'd be more viewer reviews. There are ratings.
How can you rate something and not review it? When on IMDb, Couch Pilots Podcast, we've been really trying to elaborate in the review section of each of these shows what we thought of.
Right.
You know? So we're taking the time. And one of the things that might be a hindrance of why you don't see a lot of reviews is IMDb demands that you have 10 lines of text.
Do you think that hinders people?
Yeah, I don't think the people don't want to write 10. Because when I was writing 10 lines of text, I got tired.
You had line fatigue?
Oh, God, line fatigue.
Critic reviews. Thank God the American pilot for the IT crowd was rubbish by Natalie Zutter from Crushable.com.
I get that.
I get it too. It doesn't help that in these UK to US adaptations, the studio invariably copy the pilot shot for shot and joke for joke. Sure, it worked for The Office when the general plot was that the asshole boss had to fire someone, but was too much of a pussy to do it, because you could tailor that to the characters who were markedly different from their British forebears. First of all, Natalie, a woman saying the word pussy and asshole.
Love it.
Hey, you got my attention.
Right, and she said something about bears. That's like...
It's a homosexual reference.
Right. Well, are you a bear?
No, I don't have the hair to be a bear.
What are you?
I'm
a fox?
I'm like a fat twink.
Oh, I got
A
you.
fink.
Yeah, I got you.
A rat fink. How about that?
Right.
But in the American IT crowd pilot, the cadence and the atmosphere match up so closely that it feels fake, like a bunch of Yanks mocking their neighbors across the pond. Even worse, the bright idea to bring over Dick A as the oddball Moss, then insert Joel McHale as Roy and Jessica St. Clair as Jen, without even changing their names, makes the pilot feel even more like a ripoff. Yep. I'm not saying that the joke's falling flat or McHale's fault. He simply doesn't possess the same range that so infused Chris O'Dowd's performance as Roy. Now, Chris O'Dowd you may recognize as the love interest of Kristen Wiig from Bridesmaids.
Bridesmaids, yes.
Even when Jutton muscled her way into taking over the ID department, he never seemed more than vaguely peeved. We've seen him more worked up over Kardashian clips on The Soup. Also because of that association, he never quite seemed like he'd be caught wearing a T-shirt, no deodorant. We're just used to seeing him as a classy, always suited up fella.
Yeah, but they cashed it in from the start. There was no effort put in. There was no creativity in this at all.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah, it was just a carbon copy. Let's just recreate this line by line right here in the U.S.
Well, that's kind of like Drunken Lullabies. When they take our bits and our lines, the Blake Szymanski, the co-host, he literally steals lines from us and uses it on his show. They're not funny when he does it.
You're so down.
They're not funny when he does it.
I'm not saying they are. I'm not saying they aren't. But I will say this. You bring up Blake Szymanski from Drunken Lullabies a lot on this podcast. And you know what? It's always the preacher with the loudest bullhorn saying homosexuality is evil that turns out to be a gay dude. I think you might have a little thing for Blake Szymanski. That's what I think. No? I disagree with you.
Okay.
I disagree with the way you feel about him.
His wife's pretty.
Oh, yeah. She's a beautiful woman. Yeah.
It's amazing how much... he obviously has money.
He's loaded.
To get a girl like that.
Absolutely. Without a doubt. But that's maybe where you're
She
jealous.
must have been sleeping when he got her pregnant.
Jeez. I think you got a crush on him. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Nope.
The American version of the IT crowd that never made it to TV by Matt Skimowitz. Shimkowitz.
L'chaim.
Haas and Pfeffer Incorporated. An American version of the IT crowd was never a bad idea, with American audiences already going bazinga over nerd-based and workplace comedies. The combination seemed like a home run, but it's all in the execution, and the IT crowd has a hard time letting go of its British base. Of course, while it uses the same script as the pilot, it also keeps the mix of multi- and single-camera footage found in the British version, stars Dick A, and the cluttered sets of the original. The show has a decidedly British look and feel to it, with nothing to distinguish itself from its source.
They didn't try.
And you know what? We've talked about this before, how like a movie might or try to be a carbon copy, like a sequel of its original, because it's like, hey, this worked. Let's do the exact same thing. Maybe give it a new setting or something. And maybe that's what they're thinking here. Let's just do exactly the same thing. It was a hit over there. It'll be a hit here. But it's not the same type of humor.
No, it's not
It
at all.
doesn't work that way, guys. Come on, fellas. Man.
We might as well just fly there.
Well, we're going to fly into the ground right now as we land.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to FCF Airport. Local time is 11:11 and the temperature is 69 degrees. For your safety and comfort, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the captains turn off the fasten seatbelt sign.
Hit me up, buddy.
Hey,
Hit me up. Let's do this.
you ready?
Yep.
All right. Landing. Our wheels are touching the ground. We're safely back on solid soil. And now we will give all of our frequent flyers our ratings.
Sure.
You've heard every step of the way how the show was made, who was in it, what happened, what the reviews were from the critics and IMDb and the viewers.
We basically took all these things, swept them all into one big circle, one big pile.
Yep.
Now look at that pile and we're telling you what we think of that pile.
Exactly. And you're saying hit me. You want me to go first?
Yep.
Okay. I look at this and I have to say I love Joe McHale. He's on one of my favorite sitcoms of all time. I know he's capable. I love him. Richard Ayoade, I don't know. He's okay. He's all right. The black guy, he's okay. Jessica St. Clair, she's okay.
Yeah.
Joe McHale, I love that guy. I think he's fantastic. I had high hopes for this show. But
We've got high hopes.
Was that it?
I don't remember I said it.
So I went into this with a pep in my step, but I did not let that change how I would rate
Sure.
the show, because this was not good. This was not funny.
Yeah, you tripped over your own feet.
Yeah, I did. I didn't. I do not care for this. I am going to give this show. I'm going to give it a 2.
Yep.
This show is definitely not the worst thing I've seen, but it is not funny. There are some very capable and great people associated with this, but it is the wrong project for them.
Right.
This was not a good show, and I am sorry to have to give it that low, but
It's been a while since you gave one that low.
it has been a while, and it will hopefully be a while since I have to give it again. Captain Philip Restisher, I turn to you. How do you rate the IT crowd?
Well, there's a Bucks and Blonde bump
Yeah.
because of Jessica St. Clair.
But you like her anyway, right?
Right. I
Even
give
if she
it-
was dark-haired, you
Right.
probably still like her.
Yep, I give it a 2.
You give it a 2. We agree on 2. High five it. Nice. And with that, we close the book on the IT crowd.
Please.
Thankfully, sometimes when I say we close the book on something, I have a little regret. And I know Global Frequency, you gave a 7.
Yes,
Perfect
my
score.
first 7 ever.
Yeah, hopefully not your last. And I've given some 7s out in my day, and it's tough to
Yeah.
close the book. In this case, it is not tough. I am
No.
happy and very quick to close the book on the IT crowd, never to open
I
again.
can't push stop recording fast enough on this.
Right,
That's how much I
and
want
I'll
to
try
close.
to get you there as
I want to
quickly
close
as
the
possible.
podcast.
So with that, we are all set. We're closing the book on the IT crowd, but we're not done. Please join us next time when we watch the pilot episode of Gay Robot.
Oh boy.
Here's a little something to wet your whistle. In the pilot, Gay Robot and his fraternity buddies try to find him a date for the homecoming dance. You can find the entire episode by subscribing to Couch Pilots in iTunes or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes. Or go to YouTube and search Gay Robot Pilot, and for sure be put on a list of some sort.
Right. We'll put the link. We'll put the safe blue link on the show notes for this episode. Just don't even go anywhere and search it. We'll take care
Go
of it.
directly to our classically blue links, please. I research a lot to find these shows. I watched the first 2 or 3 minutes of this because I'm familiar with a bit that he's done Gay Robot related. It's Nick Swartzen, and we'll get way more into that in the next episode. But I cannot wait to watch the rest of this. I'm
Nice.
truly excited to watch. What a great premise for a show, a homosexual robot.
Perfect. Right up our alley.
If you want to tell us what's been up your alley, if you want to say hi to us or suggest anything, go to Facebook. Check out Couch Pilots Podcast. Go to Twitter. We're at Couch Pilots Pod. Send us an email at couchpilotspodcast@gmail.com. We're available everywhere. I think we're on Instagram.
We're
too,
now
right?
on Instagram. I'm really proud of this one. Thank you, Instagram, for finally making where you can have more than one account and you can toggle back and forth. But we are at couch_pilots_podcast.
Check us out there.
Follow us. We're trying to post one picture of some kind every day.
And we're trying to get to 1 million subscribers before the end of the month. So help us get there.
Yes, please.
And we're also on YouTube if you want to see live versions of stuff.
Yep, just search Couch Pilots Podcast. We have all of the audio, all the audio of every episode. Mm-hmm. And we've got 7 or 8 videos of us doing each show as well. Split screen looks good.
Yeah, you can see Blake's
HD.
You can see Blake's 3 chins. You can see that I'm a fat hairless twink. Oh boy, there he's blowing up. That's worth a view right there.
That's like Dizzy Gillespie, isn't it?
What a wonderful world. What a wonderful world.
What would it
Give
sound
me some
like?
more heroin.
What would it sound like if Dizzy Gillespie said diabetes?
Oh, brother.
Yeah, that's right. I think that's exactly right. Go to
Diabetes. Give me some more heroin.
Is he known for it?
All jazz musicians.
Opiate pipes.
Opiate pipes, that's what it is.
Go to fcfnetwork.com. Send us a photo of your opiate pipe. Listen to all the shows on the FCF network. We've got 7 shows that come out with a moderate frequency and a lot of great stuff, though. So if you like this show, I'm sure you're going to like a couple of other shows. Check them all out. Subscribe on iTunes. Blake, anything else you'd like to say to all of our frequent flyers before we go?
No, we love you guys. And thank you for sticking with us. We're winding down our 4th season. We've only got a couple episodes.
That's right.
And like I said, syndication coming up pretty soon. So, guys, expect to start paying for this shit.
That's right. This pilot may have been rough, but it's always a smooth flight here on Couch Pilots. Thank you, everyone, and we'll see you next time.
Guten Morgen.
On behalf of Couch Pilots and the entire crew, we'd like to thank you for joining us on this trip, and we are looking forward to seeing you on board again in the near future. Have a nice day.
This has been a Fakakta Comedy Funhouse production, produced by Jason Tosher, executive produced by Blake Clayton. For more information and content, go to fcfnetwork.com.